Hello, hello, everyone. I hope you're having an incredible, fabulous, fantastic Friday. It is Facts Not Feelings Friday. Woohoo! We made it. It's been a crazy freaking week. I'm not sure if you all feel like that, but man, it has been. I'm still like, so I'm prepping for this. My earbuds are falling out. I'm like still putting my. Is it still Monday? It's Friday. Like, okay, it's Friday, Brooke. You've made it to the weekend. You've successfully made it, but it doesn't really feel like that. So yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. So I don't know if you all feel like that, but I know that tomorrow is Saturday, and gonna get up at the freaking butt crack of dawn and fly out to Napa. And we're gonna have some nice wine. We're going to DMSC, so get your ass out there. I don't know who else is going out there, but let me know. Really, really excited. If you're not and you're going digitally, that's great too. I'll like send some wine virtually to you, so hopefully you guys can all feel it. So really, really excited to, we've kind of like semi recouped from digital dealer, and yeah, super. We're in the store. It's been a crazy week. Yeah, same here. So very, very much feeling that as well. Feeling the same thing. It's been a super, super crazy week. And yeah, just Larry feeling the same thing. Good morning to you. Got your call yesterday. It's just been like so insanely crazy. I don't know why. It's just been so crazy this week, but it's great. Love the energy and cannot wait to get out to Napa and decompress a little bit. So I know it looks like I'm the only one on this video right now, but don't you worry. I have Tim Cox, the video we're going to be showing. We met up at Digital Dealer and we're going to be showing this. And so you don't just have to see my face. You get to see Tim as well. So super excited about that. So we met up at Digital Dealer and was able to pick his brain a little bit. So if you haven't followed me thus far, well, first off, where have you been? Come on, get with the program. Come, you should be following me all the time. But no, so about 2 years ago, it's the 2-year anniversary coming up in here in DMSC, where I heard Tim Cox speak for the first time. And anyone that knows me is well, first off, I'm crazy, but you need a little insanity to stay sane. Is that in his speech, he had a little blurb that he just said something about, I'm very analytical and I just poked myself in the eye. That's a great job on my part. That's the kind of week it's been right there. Is that, he had a thing about, I'm always about facts. I'm always like, hey, don't, look at the data and, let the data speak. Cut the bullshit out of there, cut the, drama out of there and look at the data. And in his presentation, he said, facts over feelings, let the facts speak. And then, then you don't have to worry about, I'm like, holy crap, that's so true. And I had no idea at the time that facts, not feelings was going to be born, but it was at that time during that presentation that it was like, boom, light bulb went off. And I was like, and I've used that saying, well, a version of that saying ever since I heard that Tim talk, and now he has Tim talk. So blah, blah, blah. So that's how that came to be. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. And at the very, very, very first time that I did these shows and the name of this podcast, that is how that came to be and how that was born. And yes, data, pure data is paramount, and knowing the data and knowing how to interpret that, because you can take a bunch of data and then it's just like gobbledygook and it's like, what the hell did I do that? And how to interpret that and make an actionable item out of it. That is so key, because how many times you go, whether it's a dealership, whether it's in a dentist office or in a all this data, how the hell you take that and say, okay, make this an actionable item, because that is really, really, really key. So yeah, Michael, thank you so much for that. Very, very, very true. So with that, before I hit play on this and we get this thing rolling with Tim, what he couldn't say, because could announce it, was as if CarNow is not doing enough right now. He's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just partner with freaking Ship Your Car, Don Brady. So huge shit out. Yeah, probably don't want to do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Huge shout out to CarNow and Don Brady and Ship Your Car. Very careful how you say that. It's kind of like Kmart commercial with Ship Your Pants. It's like Ship Your Car. So they partner with that. So now you've got a quote unquote a chat tool, which is so much more than a chat tool. And Michael, I'm going to leave your thing up here for it, because I think it is pure data is paramount. So paramount is that they're not just a chat tool. They're a digital retailing tool, which is a buzzword. We know that. They partner with Darwin. They are now with crypto. They partner with your car. So there's like all these things they're getting into. And there's other things that we'll get into during the video here, is that there's stuff that they're still not able to do yet. And now my landscapers are going in the background as well. So this is an awesome Friday right now. We just roll the punches. It's great. It's awesome. So I'm going to get this going. Without further ado, and I'm going to take out this comment here, and we are going to start the awesome interview with Tim. So everyone, thank you so much for being a part of this, and have a great rest of your week. All right, everyone, let's get this rocking and rolling. All right, everyone, welcome into another episode of Facts Not Feelings, and I am joined with the one and only Tim Cox.
I am so happy to be here.
I am too. And anyone that's followed me this far knows that I actually took the name of my entire episode and my podcast after you. So thank you so much for not only joining me, but for your brilliance, because I go back to the one time I heard you speak, and obviously you're brilliant. I could flower you with all kinds of flowery words.
Let's not.
That's not. But it was, I listened to you speak, and it was that one brief sentence that you had in the blurb, and it was like, if I can just separate facts from feelings, I was like, holy shit, like, it's so true. So thank you for not only, for everything you've done this far, but for that brief moment that was just like, that light bulb went off. And so I'm just so honored that you would be here.
I'm honored to be here. So, good stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, I just wanted to, I'm sure everyone at this point knows who you are, but for those few individuals out there that don't know who you are already, tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got in this crazy industry.
Yeah. I'm an old man, but I've been doing this since 1989 at a dealer at the Jake Sweeney organization, and started selling cars. Moved to Atlanta in '95 and had a great career. And we I won't bore you with the entire story, but in June of 2013, my partner and best friend now, Andy Park, walked into my dealership and said, "Hey, I'm not selling you anything. Let me pick your brain." And a lot of late nights with our two other partners at the time, Sourav and Badan, we created the first interactive and rich content chat platform, and we grew very quickly. And then 2 years later, we developed the first, we like being the first digital retailing solution in 2017. A latter part of 2016 actually is when we launched that actually had conversation, to where you could actually have a conversation. And then in 2019, we developed, the formless website with, taking all the forms off the CTAs, and that just really is. In fact, there was multiple keynotes today here at Digital Dealer that were speaking about that and the results. And then now we've developed something pretty special. Most dealers have 10, 12, 11, whatever logins. We've created a platform that's one login that can take care of the brunt of a lot of things that the dealers need right now, and showing them actually what their customers are doing on their website while they're on their website, not taking a person that you've paid X amount of dollars to get to your website and then making them a data entry, but creating an environment to where you can react. Everybody needs inventory right now, right? So we just want to stay ahead of the curve. We want to continue to serve our dealers, it's almost, I'm a Jeep Wrangler owner, right? And you're never done with your Jeep, ever. And we're never done. Never. We're never going to be done.
What else can I accessorize with that?
Exactly.
Yes.
So we're never going to be done. We're going to continue to listen more than we speak to our dealers, and continue to build hopefully good tech. And more importantly than the tech is our team and how we support our dealers and our people, for sure.
Well, that's one thing. As you said, there's so many different tools out there. There's so many different chat tools out there. And one thing I've been so impressed with CarNow is exactly what you said. It's the same thing when I was in the dealership world, is that I made sure the first thing I did was get on CarNow. Mm-hmm. And this is specifically for that reason was, hey, I know that you guys continually listen to the dealer. You're constantly saying, how can we innovate? How can we make things better? I looked at, I remember when I was working with dealers and also in the dealership myself, saying, wait, so you guys integrate with Apple Business Chat? I didn't even know that was a thing at the time. Mm-hmm. And I looked at other chat providers at the time, and nobody even knew what the hell that was. And
Google My Business, your Google Business profile now, yeah.
And also, and take it one step further, I've dealt with other, and I'm not at all trying to belittle any other chat provider, is just looking at different tools and saying, wait, these guys are just constantly innovating on every different platform of, wait, so you don't charge an additional charge for all, and I was so used to that of, I get charged for everything else, and when everything came on, it was Google Business Profile, oh, yeah, you want it for sales, service, and parts? Oh yeah, we do that. Well, you do it for OfferUp. Oh yeah, we do it for that too. You want an Auto Trader? Yeah, no problem at all. I was like, it's literally a one-stop shopping for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to have a conversational chat? No problem, we got that as well.
Yeah.
And you guys do it. And you just are always thinking. I know there's obviously a very big announcement. You guys had it just recently as well with having crypto. I mean, you're always thinking, what's next? What's next? How can we continually move the needle forward?
Yeah.
How can we move this industry forward?
Yeah, you mentioned crypto. You know, we're trying to continually open up avenues to where dealers can make more money. They can maximize that deal. But again, facts, not feelings. I threw it out there.
Yes.
Over 50% and growing rapidly of all millennials have some type of crypto.
Yep.
This is a big one. 12% of all the first-time home buyers, last year used some sort of crypto that they cashed in to purchase their home. So we partnered with the guys at Scion. So not only, I've talked to some pretty smart people here that we're already putting it together. They charge a $295 fee to develop their crypto, but this is really going to change things. You know, let's just say you made an investment of $100,000, whatever the number is. Now that Bitcoin or that Ethereum or whatever it is now worth $300,000, right? Well, you eventually have to pay capital gains.
Eventually. Right?
So now that crypto owner, if they want to buy a car, can purchase that vehicle, let's just say it's a 4Runner or whatever for 60, 70 grand. They would put 80 or 90,000 of that up, okay, not pay capital gains. The crypto bank would still allow the dealer to hold reserve just like they do with Bank of America or Ford Motor Credit or GMAC or anybody else. So it's, again, another avenue, especially with my higher end, with the Mercedes and Porsche. And my dear friend Adam Merlin is the largest pre-owned Ferrari dealer in the country. And he's like, man, I've had people asking this for 2 years because they want to diversify, they want to invest in, so pretty exciting. And it's one of those things that, will everybody sign up tomorrow? No, but this is what we know how you worked in a dealership. I worked in a dealership for decades. What's going to happen is somebody's going to come in and say, hey, can I buy this, ES 300 with my crypto? And they're going to say no. And they're going to say, well, the dealer down the street can't.
Yep.
And they're like, well, wait a minute. Hey, boss, we're missing business. And then that's when things will start rolling. And then when dealers see that they can, they can make more money on it, that's when it'll roll. 100%.
And it's, as we always go back to, it's meeting the customer exactly where they are. And is that we've talked about so many times is that on the showroom floor? Is it online? Is it wherever it may be? So if the customer wants, like you said, the customer comes in and says, I want to play with crypto, and you don't have that available, and your competitor does, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So it's meeting them and going, anyone that you're at Digital Dealer right now, you're at Brian Kramer's, his presentation, are you there in the metaverse? It's wherever the consumer is, it's right there with the right message, at the right time, and the right space.
Yeah.
So it's wherever it may be. And so it just, once again, it's continually, it's not that every single person, it's the same thing with, and I hate using the term digital retailing because it's kind of a buzzword, as we all know, but not every single person is going to go all the way through the transaction. We all know this. But are you there at the right time to be there for the consumer? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I saw you're on there. You got to the trade-in form. So it's being at the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. So you're just loving everything.
In real time.
Yes.
And being there and seeing exactly where they're at and being able to pick up that conversation and service that deal. And hedging, it's almost like hedging your bets.
Yeah.
You prepare, Dad always told me, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. You prepare for these things. Now, I really am bullish on crypto because it's happening now. It's in the news. It's on the ticker every day. Mm-hmm. The government's everybody's talking about it. So we, as an automotive body, need to be prepared for it because it is coming. And look, if we miss it by 6 months, a year, dealerships just need to put the right things in place to where they're Kevin Fry, Jeff Weiler group. just gave a big presentation. All their dealerships are now being able to take crypto. So people need to pay attention.
Yeah, he just sold his first car.
Yep.
First dealer to do it.
Yep.
And it was the Citibank is, I think, was saying it's going to be a $13 trillion industry here. I know numbers are all over the map right now, but it's up to $13 trillion industry. They're saying so. This is not going away. It's the same thing as metaverse is not going away. It's there. It's here to stay. It's just how you're going to incorporate it. If you haven't already started it, start it now. So it's just being where it is, and then it goes back to the consumer experience, the customer experience. Just because this is where it's going and where it already is, doesn't mean you just jump into it without a plan. You've got to have a process. You got to think this through. Same as the digital retailing whole song and dance. Just slapping a button on your website doesn't mean that you suffice the process. No, you've got to think things through. How am I going to do this? What are you doing beforehand? Do I have the people in place? Do I have the processes in place? Do I have the training in place? I mean, it's just as anything you do. You think it out beforehand. I've got the flow chart. I've done everything beforehand.
Yeah, it's not like everybody remembers the movie with Kevin Costner, The Field of Dreams. It's not if you build it, they will come. It's not if you put this widget on my website, they will come. It's not if they put this button on my website. Knowing the right. There was just my buddy Glenn Lundy just went and spoke at a conference in Miami about a month or so ago. There was 100,000 people there, all talking about crypto. Then he flew out to California with Grant Cardone. They talked about an NFT. I mean, all these things, and there was 10,000 people or so there. So there is this, it's growing, and with interest rates continuing to rise, with uncertainty in some foreign markets and things like this, it's definitely coming. It's here.
Yeah, so they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Not going anywhere at all. And I think, and then you're trying to, I know obviously there's, compliance issues and everything like that. It's just making sure everything, all your ducks in a row when you get everything going.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so with CarNow, where do you see things going from here moving forward?
Continuing to listen. We're working on a lot of things behind the scenes, but our partnership back in November, our announcement with partnering with Darwin, which I think is best of breed as far as the menu process, allowing them to seamlessly I believe we're the best of breed online process. They're the best of breed in-store process with what they've done with menus. How it increases F&I profitability. Again, facts over feelings is not debatable. So that was a big announcement. And then continuing to work on our craft, work on our partnerships. We've got a few big announcements that maybe we'll come back on and I'll announce when I'm allowed to announce, but these types of things we want dealers to live in. Dealers are jumping from, a desking solution to a CRM, to a chat tool, to a DR tool, to their trade-in tool. I mean, we got so many logins, but truly being able to put all that data into one place, one platform, to where they see it. Not only do they see it in real time, so that is actually out in the wild right now, but we're going to be working on it and enhancing that. And so by Q3, Q4, it's already been a game changer, but it's absolutely going to be a game changer. When we create, I won't let too much out of the bag. We'll come back. But there's going to be some amazing things coming we hope to, with these announcements and with these changes, it's really not deniable. Back in 2015, when we came out with our first product, no one else was doing that. No one else was adding, here's a video, here's a brochure, here's the VDP, into a chat. And people were getting halfway through the demo and they were saying, I'm signing up, and oh, by the way, can I invest? Because it was so far. So our next stage, we really want to recreate that and do that again, because there's a lot of players in the space. And, and quite frankly, there's a lot of people that did get acquired over the last several years. Our phones did ring a little bit. We didn't have too much conversation because we didn't want it out there, but we want, John Maxwell says something that I love. He's like, great companies have visionaries that say, I want to make a difference with people that want to make a difference, doing something that makes a difference. Yeah. And maybe a little spiritual for people, but we're making a difference. I look at the automotive business differently. The fact that we had an idea, at a car dealership, me, Andy, Sorov, and Badan, and now we're employing, nearly 250 people. that their lives so we're making a difference. We're making a difference not only with those 250 people, but all the 5,000 dealerships that we serve, and allowing those BDC managers and inventory managers and sales managers, with the technology that we create in the partnership, sell more cars, make more money, allow that customer. So we are making a difference with people that make a difference and doing something that makes a difference. And that something is constantly, working on our craft and evolving and listening, and that's the exciting part. And that's why we chose to make a difference and really bring something to the automotive industry that they've been waiting for a long time.
I couldn't agree more. 100%. I think that I've always, kind of like you said, it's just when you go into, I don't care what you're doing, whether you're a janitor to selling cars to a doctor to curing cancer, whatever it is, just do something good. Whatever you do good in the world, serve other people, whatever it may be, but and have joy doing it, whatever it is. Yeah. And so, and you really have. I mean, and I know it kind of sounds weird saying that, but it is like you're you're moving the industry forward, you're moving this world forward, and so
it's not just selling cars. When you unpack it all, it's really. It affects the tentacles, or whatever, are into, like I said, affects so many people. So I really believe that, it's making a difference, and that's what keeps me going every day.
It is, and I think that additionally is when you look at our industry is, it's been so good to both of us,
right?
And what at a community level, what our industry does is just astronomical. And I was talking to a colleague about this a little bit ago, and she goes, meets one of her dealerships. She works very closely with them, and she goes, he never wants to talk about it, but she goes, Brooke, he does so much. And I go, I know, but it's just amazing that unfortunately our industry gets such a bad rap. And I go, if people don't know how much our industry does at a community level for so many different people.
So many, and I hate to even call anybody out because I don't want anybody. There's so many people that do so much. But my buddy Daniel at the Mercedes, the Germain Group up there in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, he, long story short, inspired me. Make a Wish. We had our little conference. We raised $30,000 for Make a Wish in 3 hours, and it was just awesome. Dealers that were like, I'm in, and just even more than that. So yeah, I mean, the automotive dealership is the bedrock of a lot of communities, a lot of smaller communities. Yeah. Most dealers in the country sell 100 or less, and then there are rural towns, and there's a lot of it. But they sponsor the baseball team, and they give to the hospital, and they do all that other stuff. So, that is, the plaid jacket car salesman. Smoking and joking on the lot is what a lot of people picture, but they don't unpack, the community and the community involvement. And we have some of the best people in the world own dealerships and work at automotive dealerships. There's 100%. Zero doubt.
And I know that because there are so many amazing individuals at work and own dealerships and manage dealerships, and that they are behind the scenes. They're like, no, I don't want my name up there. I don't do it. I'm like, I know you don't do that. You got to understand, in order to change the stigma, you're gonna have to put that up there. You gotta put it in bright lights. I know you don't want to, right, but I'm gonna film you because you need that pat on the back. I know you don't want it. You gotta let people know this stuff because it's so incredible what you're doing. So yes, this industry is incredible. It's incredible.
It sure is.
Going back to your prior statement, it isn't just selling cars, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. It's so much more than that. So much more than that. So with kind of transitioning there, where do you see the current state of automotive right now? Because there's so much going on right now.
Well, it's very difficult. There's few people out there that when they have a uber amount of success, and let's not kid ourselves, and everybody knows it, these last 20 months or so have been the best the automotive industry has ever been. I was at J.D. Power, excuse me, the first day before NADA, and they said the average gross profit in January of 19 was $2,200. It's now $5,200 or $5,300. So you're telling dealers, hey, you might need to change your fishing lure, and they're like, bro, fish are jumping in the boat. I don't even need to use a lure. So yeah, your turn rates at depending on your OEM, between 80 and 90+%. You're selling them before they even get off the truck. So it's a very unique time. But the time to fix the roof is not when it's raining. It's when the sun's out, and the sun's out now. I stole that from somebody. I can't remember who it was, but I'm saying that. Pouring into your people, I think that those types of things, what do you tell that salesperson that's only been in the business for 18 months?
Oh, man.
This isn't the
This
real
is
car
not how it
business.
is.
This is not how it is, right? Well, you don't want it, and we've created, in good times, unfortunately, create some really, really bad habits.
Yes.
I would encourage every single dealership, if you care about your dealership, mystery shop your own dealership.
Please.
Mystery shop other dealerships. You would be surprised. I've been hung up on. We don't have it. Hey, can I get a? No. I mean, it's gone.
Quick.
It's not. I've got, even on the pre-owned side. No, it's gone. It's not offer me alternatives. There's so many bad habits, and if we're not inspecting what we expect, and people say that all the time. We were talking about it before we went live. A lot of people say Sunday school words, I call them, right? About culture and about a lot of other things on Clubhouse or podcasts, and everybody kind of flexes. But what is it really like in your store? And we are making, in the automotive industry right now, is making so much money. Yep. But, they say the SAR still moved to 16 million from 13 million at the beginning of the year. Where are they getting these cars? They think that we're going to be selling more cars. Big push in Q3 and Q4. No one has a complete crystal ball, but Q3, Q4, probably Q1 of next year, we're going to see the tide change a little bit.
Yes,
and what happens to that salesperson that has never really had to, negotiate, never really had to do anything? I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer. I'm just, my favorite proverb is, the prudent see danger and turn from it, but the simple keep going and suffer harm. We can think this is never going to change, I'm amazing, I'm making so much money, I'm great. And we can sit here and look about what we did, but it's just the market. Or I see danger, I know it's turning, maybe I need to pour into my people a little bit more. Maybe I need to tell my people that this is going to change, and put some processes in place to where we are creating not a because most dealerships today, especially on the sales side, are transactional. Yep. I'm going to sell a car. I'm going to make $5,000 profit, five pounder. I'm going to get an X on the board, and then see ya. Instead of, I'm going to make $5,000, but you know what? Was your experience? Did I make your experience so amazing that I'm your car girl? I'm your car guy. Can you give me a list of? I took that Jonathan Dawson, my dear friend, who I think is one of the best, if not the best, sales trainer in the country right now. But he preaches that, and it's not facts, Trump. It works. Yep. Your cousins, your mom, your dad, your church, can I do this? I want to be your car person. Hopefully you've enjoyed the way I've talked to you. Even sales manager, hopefully we've done this. We'd love a list of X amount of people. Let us serve them, blah, blah, blah. That type of selling is what's going to get us through. Service is another thing. 70 plus, you said it was even higher. Yep. Since COVID, between 70 and 80% that everybody, and I know I lived it, because when my Lexus store, I had to do everything but wear a clown suit and give away cookies to get people to get a free oil change on a new Lexus to come into my store. 70 to 80% are using the aftermarket facilities like Jiffy Lube and Midas and everybody else. So what would happen if we created an experience to where we but when they thought about service, that they pop in and make it easier. And we've done some of that stuff too, with being able to scan a QR code and have automated workflows, schedule a service, make it simpler for them. Those types of things. So stop being transactional and start looking at consumers as partners, and selling their friends and families and churches. And that's a start of what we need to do, especially towards the end of the year and the beginning of next year.
Yes, there's so much to unpack right there. So right. I'm just going to say yes to begin with that.
Right.
Right now, and I know we've touched this a little bit, so I don't want to too much repeat myself, and if I do, I apologize. But right now, everyone, if you want to succeed and get past, right now, patting ourselves, look at me, I'm hurting and spraining my arm because I'm patting myself so hard in the back because, look at me, I got another, like you said, 5-pounder. No shit you did. So is everybody else. Right. That's nothing new. Right now, you should be saying, okay, how can I not only improve our internal inner workings, but how can we capitalize on everybody else? Because right now, everybody else is doing the exact same thing. So right now, new cars are a little hard to get. We all know this. So what else is happening is that fixed ops is getting just annihilated. So all those stats of, as you so eloquently said,
those numbers are way down. So customer base is just completely eroding underneath this. But too often right now, what has happened is no one is paying attention. Now, the ones that are ahead of the game are seeing that, and they're saying, okay, wait a second, let's take a look internally and say, hey, let's work on process, let's look at this, and let's not only capitalize on our customer base and show how we can improve our process, let's go ahead and take out the competition as well. You should be training, you should be looking at this, like you said, the brand new green peas, they're just like a freaking Daffy Duck right now, and just rolling, not Daffy Duck, what's the duck that back swims in the...
Donald Duck?
Scrooge McDuck. There we go. Scrooge McDuck.
There you go.
It's one of the ducks.
One of the ducks.
One of those ducks.
It's a duck.
It's a duck.
Right.
It looks like a duck, pockets a duck. In the money right now. And it's not like that. So you've got all this time right now where you can just be saying, hey, let's tighten up the processes. I mean, I posed the question, I can't remember if it was on here or not, but when was the last time you actually reached out to a customer that wasn't, hey, your lease is up, oh, happy anniversary, that was sent out automatically? When was the last time you actually talked to one of your customers to say, hey, how are you? Probably never. Because you want to charge more for a car, but what are you changing in your process to justify the 5 to 10 to 15 to however much more you're charging for a car? What are you doing differently? Nothing. Absolutely. In fact, you're probably treating them worse than you ever did before. You're doing absolutely nothing. You're not lifting a finger, but you're charging a hell of a lot more for the vehicle. Mm-hmm. So why is that consumer ever going to come back to you? I'm not coming back to you. I can't tell you how many dealerships I have looked, and their reputation, we'll say, is a 4.8 prior to COVID, or even prior to 2022. 2022 hit, goes down. Now, I understand that part of that's going to be due to price, but if you're a customer experience and you really looked and said, okay, how can we improve the customer experience? And yes, we're going to charge you more, but everyone else is doing it. We'll explain that to them. Hey, we know that everything else is more. Your Sony costs more, not your Sony. Your PlayStation costs more. Your Xbox bacon costs more. But here's what we're doing differently. Explain that to them. Here's what we're going to do more. We're going to make your experience here, instead of being 7 hours in the dealership, you're going to only be here an hour. Seriously, man, that's well worth the money. What are you doing differently to treat the customer better?
You know, you touched on something, and that's that's the danger ahead. As most dealerships that I talk to aren't, and some are, but hey, listen, it's all in the delivery, because what's going to happen, especially with the dealerships that are charging 10, and I'm not talking about, Corvette C8 and specialty cars, but the dealers that are charging 10, 15, 20,000, whatever it is, over on MSRP 4Runners or whatever it is, what's going to happen is, if that's not explained properly, well, sir, your trade's worth more, number one, so that this is where the market is. If it's not explained, that's okay if we're doing those things, but explaining the supply and demand. But those people, if you don't explain it that way, when this turns a year and a half from now or 2 years from now, and they go to trade their car in, and they're 10 or 15,000 upside down, they're going to hate you, they're going to cuss you, they're going to, my dad, again with the dad sayings, I'm going to see him this weekend, but, he said, bad news gets around the world twice, why good news is putting its shoes on. And so that's why you have to beg for good reviews. Everybody's just going to put the bad reviews. So making sure, it's okay that the market is the way it is, but explaining that, making that part of the delivery process or the sales process that, hey, I understand this is our car, there is no discount, but good news is your car's worth more than it was. Yep. And, this is what's happening, versus saying nothing, charging someone 10 or 15 grand over. This market changes 2 years from now, they're horse cussing you to their church, their family, their everybody else. So that's just something that's not going to cost a dime. That should make a big difference. That's not transactional, that's generational.
Yeah, it's amazing what a difference it was. I tell a story, like it was during 2020, and the first time I went to get my manicure, pedicure, I knew it was going to cost more. Like, I knew that, I'm expecting that, but I go in there, no period, there's no and, there's no but, and I go in there. And I walk in and they're like, hey, it's, we've raised our prices. I'm like, hey, totally understand that. They go, but hey, here's what we're doing differently to compensate the fact our prices are higher. I just go, whoa, seriously? Like, hey, we've added this to our spa pedicure. I go, now I know the little thing that they did is probably like $5. Does that justify the 10? No, but the fact that they were up front, this is why it costs more, but we've added this little thing here and here. I'm like, okay, makes sense. Like, I know it's more, But the fact that you up front told me, we've actually added this little enhancement to da-da-da-da-da and with inflation. So I'm like, up front, I'm totally fine with that. Because you explained up front, here's the additional service that we added to your spa, pedicure, and manicure, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I'm fine with that.
That makes sense.
That's all you had to do. And I already loved you guys, so it wasn't like you went back and continued, like, all of a sudden went horrible customer service on me.
Right.
So that's all you got to do.
Yep.
We don't need to make it so difficult. It's a simple thing we do. Don't make it hard.
Mm-mm. And those are the things we need to be training, not only salespeople, but BDC, reception. We need to change our whole store.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Yeah, so good to catch up with you.
Yes.
Very good to catch up with you.
Nice to see you as well.
Yes, so everyone that comes on the show, I always have a couple of questions I always like to finish up with. So yeah, they're very difficult questions.
Okay, it's coming.
Hopefully you can withstand the lightning round here. So,
okay.
Hardest things, the most difficult things, or things you get asked to distinguish between facts and feelings in what you do with CarNow or just in life in general.
Okay, word that one more time.
So, some of the things that you like, I feel like the number one thing that you have to distinguish in a day-to-day from facts from feelings, either in CarNow or in life.
What's it like to be on the other side of me?
Oh.
So I think people in general, especially when you've achieved some sort of success, I want to make sure that I'm reviewing my own game film daily, find out what I could have done better, where I missed an opportunity, because I always want to get better. I always look towards mentors. I always look towards, people that are doing things better than me. So that's a daily, very easy to read your own press clippings. I think that, the Tom Brady's of the world look at their game, and the Bill Belichick, they can blow somebody out by, 5 touchdowns, and then Bill Belichick at the press conference is going to talk about, well, we really need to tighten up my special teams. We really need it. So that is a key for me, is really looking at the game film daily. I'll share something with you that literally I almost put in every presentation now that literally changed my life. I was at a John Maxwell conference, 15, 17 years ago. And he said, I can't control yesterday, it's gone. I'm not promised tomorrow, but just for today. So for me, just for today, every interaction, every podcast, everything that we do, if you want to continually get better, continue to move the bar, you got to do a self-assessment. That's hard. You ask what's hard, that's hard. And it's hard to understand, where you drop the ball. Not hard to understand, but it's hard, to really, oh crap, I really screwed that opportunity up. And so that is a daily process in my own life, and I challenge our team to do the same thing. Excuse me. And that's how we get better. And then when you and what happens is, if you just talk about just for today, my just for today a lot of the times is just for today, I'm going to treat people as though they're more important than me. Let's say that again. Just for today, I'm going to treat people as though they're more important than me. And then if I listen to every word, as hard as it is sometimes with my ADD brain, if I listen to every word and I really process, and I think, that's why our company has, not just because of that, but creating that type of culture to where we're self-analyzing individually, where did I drop the ball, where did I mess up, and we're doing that as people. That's the key to success. I really believe that, I've been quoted a bunch of times by saying this, chasing significance in people's lives, if you do that, versus chasing the dollar and the fancy cars, you chase your significance in your people's lives, success comes.
Good one.
Yeah, so it's tough to look in the mirror sometimes. Michael Jackson had a song about it, a long time ago. You got to start with the man in the mirror, but you got to start with the man or the woman in the mirror. And do you truly? Is it all talk? Is it all Sunday school words? Or we should always, like that Jeep, like our platform, be a work in progress.
Yes.
Because we all fall short daily on what we could do, and do we really want to make a difference with people and make a difference at a time that makes a difference? And that's a daily job, and that's tough.
It is. It's and at the end of the day, we are all human. So
yeah.
We're all a work in progress. 100%, we're all a work in progress. And I think that sometimes we all forget that. No, majority of people forget that. Some people don't. The majority of people forget that
Yep.
the next person right next to you is just as flawed, and I'm just as flawed as the next person next to me.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
100%.
All right. So if you have a one-way ticket or a round-trip ticket, you don't have to either or. Where are you heading?
I'm heading back.
I'm heading back.
I'm heading back to, my wife wants to go to Italy, but I would probably head back. Best trip I ever had was Normandy.
Oh wow. Nice.
So did that whole Utah Beach, Omaha Beach, the whole history, stayed in the little villages that are still the same as they were 75 years ago. Loved it. Just so peaceful. They loved on us. It was food was amazing. So yeah, that's where I'd head.
Okay. Very nice choice
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, not necessarily, but there was a little town, I can't remember the name of the town, but it was right outside of Normandy, a little quaint town. It was almost like a Disney movie. It was like when Sleeping Beauty was like, bonjour, 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 bonjour. Little flowers hanging out the window. It was like, am I in a freaking Disney movie?
What the hell is this?
I mean, what is this? It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm going back there.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you have a lot of quotes, so do you have a favorite quote?
Just for today.
Just for today? Okay.
Because I can't handle a lot.
All right.
We hung out a little bit last night.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place, so I can't handle a lot. But whatever, just for today.
All right. And we'll finish up with, where can everyone find you on social media?
Social media, you can find us. We do a podcast. I've been on the road, unfortunately and fortunately, for the last 4 weeks straight, so we haven't done a Tim Talks, but you'll find me at timtalks.com. You'll find me not timtalks.com, on Tim Talks on our CarNow website. So you'll see some social media posts, and then follow us at obviously at all the CarNow, LinkedIn, and Facebook and others. And I'm usually at pretty much every conference.
Every conference, and usually speaking at them as well, as it turns out. So
Yeah.
find you
It's
there.
okay.
That's a good thing. And if you haven't had a chance, please follow him, and you have a chance to listen to him speak. Listen, you will always find something out of it. I guarantee you on that. So, as always, thank you for being
Thank you very
part of
much.
it. And everyone, thank you for joining. And as always, be the joy in someone's life. Always, if you find someone, be of service. Go do something good in the world, please. It takes nothing to be kind to someone. And everyone, we will see you next week. Thank you for joining. We'll see you, everyone. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.